So you may be feeling like a bit of restlessness, in particular at night. Like I feel like there's just these undercurrents of energetics that are pulsing. You know, it may be someone you're connected to, that you also are like having transference of like energy transference come through. I just looked on my notes to see, I knew there was one thing that I wanted to bring through, and then it just left my mind for a moment. Sometimes that happens. Yeah. You could be seeing repeating nines, you know, this closing of a chapter sort of energy. I keep like blanking out, which is not normally, like when the channel clicks in, it usually flows, but I'm having like these start and stops. So that could be present in the energy as well. I also just felt like an aching on the right side of my head. So I've been getting a lot about the right hemisphere. There's like a collective right hemisphere transition, if you will. Like there's something about that that's really coming through strongly. And like I said, I'm just kind of bringing through the energetic strands. I'm not going too deeply into any of them in this transmission, but as I continue, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a Patreon overflow yet for this. I may not, I'm not sure. But deeper layers are continuing to unfold. But yeah, oh, 1 second. Yeah, also repeating sixes, rabbits, womb pain, even if you're a man, just like, or however your gender, regardless of gender, there's something about the lower belly area. Like some of you may be having some sensations there, whether it's like pain, movement. Some of you may be having breakthroughs. Like maybe it's not just about pain. Maybe there's like a release of the pain body. And there's my throat also keeps kind of like, I don't know if you can hear it. It's like bubbling up a bit. So I've noticed actually personally recently I was having, not to be gross, but mucus like for so long off and on, and the last few days I feel like this is the least amount I've had in like probably, I don't even know, maybe 2 months. So I could feel this collective release in like inflammation. Yeah, like a lot of more people seem to be wanting to understand their bodies more and like work with ancient future technologies, you know, inner technology. So yeah, that's coming through. I'm newer to using a camera, so if I'm like a little bit awkward or looking around, I'm working on it. Normally my eye contact is good, but I'm like, I'm also like learning what, like how you hold these things. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just saw someone like walk into a new door, right? So again, new locations, new places, new spaces, and I am feeling a little awkward. So there could be a little bit of this awkwardness, but I feel like it's an excitement of awkwardness, switching things up. And if you're not in this yet, maybe this is like a call, if you're feeling that call as well. NDE, I kept seeing references to near-death experiences or NDEs. So some of you could have gone through some NDEs, plural, maybe just one. It's not funny. I'm not laughing at that, but yeah, there's like a lightness though. Like maybe you're processing that, or that's something that you like to research. Maybe you haven't gone through it yourself, but you know someone who did. There's something about NDEs that were coming up very strongly. I went through a really, really in-depth phase with hearing people's stories with near-death experiences. Yeah, so that was coming through. Also, Dolores Cannon, maybe some of you have gotten into her work, or maybe you used to, 333 on the timer. Also Edgar Casey. Yeah, there could just be like, I feel like there's like a resurgence in a lot of these teachings that are coming back around of, yeah, just like previous teachings. Cameras are tough. I know. I'm supposed to tell myself that it's not tough and it's easy, but like I'm being honest, it's really hard for me to be on camera, but I'm working through it. Yeah, maybe there's something you're working through as well. I hope you stick with it, even if it's a little hard. Let me see if there's anything else. I kept seeing references to fairy godmother, the fairy godmother archetype, and I kept meaning to bring it through in like the last 3 transmissions, but for some reason it did not, and I just finally pulled it through. So what's that expression, pulling rabbits out of a hat? And I was talking about rabbits. Yeah, there feels like there's that sort of like vibe going on for some of you here. And I know that there's like also a lot of people out there listening to some of this type of content and feeling like frustrated that maybe they're not seeing change or movement. And I get that very much so. So I'm not here to like blow smoke up your ass or anything. I just also know that there's something about the like slow and steady approach to something, and like what's that word, when you kind of like I don't know, being showed a buffalo, like something earthly and slow, steady, consistency, working with your own, something that really helps me, in case this helps anyone, like if I feel like there's no movement around and I'm getting a little like restless or anxious or like, why is nothing happening? I try to remember, like, I'm really grateful for this time to like, what, you know, how can I give to myself right now, or do something for someone else, or what is like in my immediate vicinity that could calm my attention, whether that's rest, watching something silly, doing something nice for someone, you know, like these like seemingly little insignificant things. I feel like the mystical and the mundane, you know, really honoring where you're at. And it's so funny because I really love cooking, and I've been in a lot of situations, especially the last few years, where I'm with people and they look around, they're like, there's nothing to eat, like there's no food here. And like I see the few little things that I can like turn into a meal that a lot of other people don't seem to have that eye for. That's just one example. And you know, out of maybe however I've gotten that ability, it's not just something I did once, like it's something that I've repeated a lot. So now for me, it's like second nature. That's just an example. So maybe there's like something in your surroundings that are calling for your like creativity or resourcefulness. Maybe something that other people don't see that you can offer, you know, like that's just one example of the way it's coming through. But back to that community aspect and the beehive and the hive mind sort of mentality, like there may be something, I'm seeing like a gear turning or clicking. So there could be like something clicking for you. Yeah, which feels nice. But again, it may require your like fine-tuning, your resourcefulness, your attention. I think I'm going to call it here. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. I've been seeing the number 143. So I think people say that means I love you. I've heard that so many times. So yeah, there's something about the love, like a love frequency. I think I actually did a transmission called Love Frequency, and it was really hard for me to choose that title, but when I feel something so strongly, I try to honor it, even if I feel a little like about it. But yeah, so I was talking about the thymus, the high heart, going through this high heart re-emergence is kind of the energy that it's coming out that way, like re-emerging. Yeah, so there's something about that, like the embodiment of love, quite simply, and then how in layers, spirals, cycles, circles, that starts to show up into your life and your reality. And if you are going through something that feels like heavier, or you can't quite see that yet, like that's okay. I hope you don't try to like force something, but there's something about just like giving yourself permission and slowly allowing, and just kind of starting there and see, like, you know, being shown like a flower and its petals like unfolding or blooming, opening. Yeah.